Welcome to the Marketing on the Move podcast, hosted by the Breezy Company, your go-to resource to master your marketing while juggling all of the demands of being a business owner. We understand that your time is a limited resource and marketing might be the last thing on your priority list right now. Our mission is to provide you with tangible insights and actionable tactics into the latest marketing trends, best practices, and strategies that you can implement no matter how busy you are. Each episode is designed to offer practical advice on leveraging your unique business strengths and efficiently managing your marketing strategy. Whether you're tuning in during your morning commute, between meetings, or while on the run, Marketing on the Move is here to empower you with the knowledge and tools you need to excel in marketing, even when your schedule is packed. Join us for a journey into making the most of your marketing efforts, no matter how busy you are. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing on the Move. We're so glad you're here. Our CTO, Steve Soto, is actually going to be hosting this episode, so I'm going to turn it over to him to introduce our special guest.
And I have the honor of introducing Matthew Tremellen from DiabeticU. Matthew and I have known each other for a while, and he has a really interesting company. And Matthew, if you just want to take it away and introduce you and the company, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I am Matthew Tremellen, the founder and CEO of DiabeticU. DiabeticU is a company that is a self-management platform for diabetes management. We've created a technology that is an application for the phone that gives users with diabetes the ability to manage everything in one place. We are looking to expand that into a tie-in with personalized clinical care as well as we build and grow in the future.
With your app, is it iPhone? Is it Android? Is it, where do you find it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are both on Apple and Android. So the Apple's phones, iPhones, as well as Android. You can download it right in the app stores.
Very good. And other than telling you about diabetes, what does it track for you?
So we do quite a few different things. We do personalized meal and exercise plans based on where they're at in their diabetes journey. We have education resources within the platform, both in short form video and longer form article-based information. We also are a Dexcom Health Apps partner, so we connect with your digital devices like your Dexcom continuous glucose monitors, weight scales, digital weight scales, and fitness wearables. We will soon be adding in sleep and stress data as well as we build out and grow. We also have a virtual assistant that is an artificial intelligent virtual assistant that we call DiaU. It's essentially like your diabetes buddy that you can ask diabetes-related questions to and get answers on that. You can simply voice command log food, medication, and your fitness as well, your exercises. And then also you can ask smart eating assistants, which gives you tips and tricks on how to eat when you're out and about at different restaurants.
Very cool. So if you're at McDonald's, you've already started down a dangerous path. How does DiaU, give you advice?
I think that's one of the greatest examples. So if you're at McDonald's and you wanted to eat a Big Mac and fries, you can simply ask the application, DiaU, I would like to eat a Big Mac and fries. How can I lessen the impact on my glucose levels? And it'll analyze what you're asking and give options for you when you ask that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, the medical app space is ever expanding. It's, not crowded, but there's a lot of noise. How do you overcome people's hesitance to try yet another app, the skepticism that's out there, and what's your marketing message that pushes through some of that noise?
I think there's two parts to that. The first part being that I'm actually a type 2 diabetic. This is a platform that was really built from the user perspective, taking into the mind all of the challenges that are faced by someone living with diabetes day in and day out. So part of the marketing is connecting with our community and letting them see that we're really working on solving their real world everyday problems, not just trying to bring them to a certain place clinically. And then the second part of that is making sure that they understand that that's also backed by clinical research. We have a team of advisors that are all on the clinical side that help build and develop this. So not only are we coming from the side of user perspective and building it with the user in mind. We're also building it from the clinical aspect as well.
Gotcha. So you're not only the CEO of DiabeticU, but you're a customer too.
Yes, I think there was a famous commercial.
There was a famous commercial.
That back in the day.
So with your personal experience with type 2 diabetes, was that the impetus for why you entered into the diabetes market?
Essentially, yes. I come from a long history of diabetes within my family. I had a father that had it for 30 plus years and had major complications because of that. I had a brother that's, I think, about 15 years now and had some complications as well. And then me personally, I've been living with diabetes for about 6 years. And it was more the challenges that you face every single day and not having true resources and not having something that really helps guide you when you're in trying to make all those complicated decisions that affect your health every single day. It goes from what you eat to how you're exercised to how you're sleeping and all those different elements. So it was really more the frustrations of not being able to manage my own and not understanding it myself that led me to this journey.
Got it. So it's not a replacement for your doctor, but it's a guide with all the published information and all of the science that's behind it and put it right at your fingertip.
Oh, absolutely. And, we highly encourage, the doctor being the main part of your journey, and of course, all of your healthcare providers that are along with you. We are actually working on a lot of different ways where we're tying into them as well, and they're able to see our information that you're sharing with them so they can help make more personalized decisions on your healthcare.
From a position of communicating with your customers, or potential customers, what are all the methods you use right now to do outreach, and where is that headed for you?
Yeah, so currently we're getting ready to launch. So we're in the process of building out our social media and having a strong social media campaign, social media advertising, digital advertising, mailer to the home advertising, and we're going through a television ad campaign as well.
Got it. So one of those many commercials in the middle of the night that says, if you have diabetes, that sort of thing? Or
yeah, absolutely, but in a little bit more of an impactful way.
Got it. That sounds good. As far as the reception so far, how do you feel people have responded to it, both from a consumer point of view, and then you obviously are talking to the medical community as well. So how's that going?
Oh, I think it's funny to say this, but the healthcare industry is still very fragmented. And I think that one of the things that we've seen from, especially on the professional side, is that a lot of the providers want that personal connection to the data, and of course to the person, but that data really shows you what's going on a regular everyday basis with the patient that you're dealing with. And that data really helps to personalize that experience. So they love the aspect of personalized care and the fact of having technology that assists somebody managing day to day. One of the bigger challenges with diabetes management is actually taking the advice of what the doctor says and implementing that every single day. So this is a technology and a tool that really just assists you with making those better decisions and learning what some of those better decisions actually are, because that gets confusing at times. And then from the user side, your patients with diabetes, living with diabetes, I think that a strong majority of what we've seen is people, even when they feel like they're doing okay with it, don't really feel like they understand what they're doing, or do they understand if they're really doing well and managing well. So this is also a tool that helps that as well.
Gotcha. And then, so obviously this app, they're logging things. You said, their blood glucose and their food and their exercise. It's great to learn how to dance, but you also have to go to the party. Can you share that data with your health advisor, your doctors?
Absolutely. Currently, we already have it so that they can share it via reports. So they could generate a report. That could be a week report, a month report, custom length up to 90 days. And they can share that with their provider, and it'll give them a very detailed breakdown of all of the different metrics that we log, and more importantly, that they're logging. Whether it's exercise data, food data, what they're eating for their meals, exercise, and others, and their glucose ranges as well.
Got it. So when you show up to the doctor, it's not just about how are you feeling right this second, but how have you been doing with your diabetes management for the last 30, 60, 90 days?
Absolutely.
Wow. That's an insight most don't get.
Agreed.
Particularly since you get all the 5 minutes with your provider these days.
Well, and I'll tell a little funny story. I've been doing this for 2 years now with DiabeticU, and I have yet to actually tell my doctor what I'm doing. So I just show up, and when he asks how I've been doing, I give him a summary of how I've been doing. Hey, yeah, I've been eating okay. I've been doing all right. When technically I could go in my app and give him a report, but I just haven't done that yet because I like to see what real care looks like for the everyday person.
Well, that'll actually be fun when you rip the covers off and say, yeah, I've actually been tracking this for the last 2 years, and here's all the data.
Absolutely.
So, cool. What is it? I mean, our audience is pretty diverse. Just from your experience and my personal experience, if you don't have diabetes, you know someone who has. What would you like the audience to know that they just wouldn't typically know unless you told them?
It's a challenging journey. With diabetes, it is something that you have to make proper decisions and deal with every single day when you're living with it. And our goal overall for us is to really help simplify that for that person every single day. Just giving my own personal as an example. Every morning I wake up, I need to understand where my glucose levels are at from the time I wake up. And then that also dictates how I'm going to eat for the day and how I'm going to exercise for the day. There's a lot of things that really people don't understand, even when they say, oh, well, hey, go exercise. Well, that sounds great, but I'm actually a very avid exerciser these days. I go to the gym every single morning. And some days, if my glucose is a little higher than normal, I can't exercise as hard as I would like to because it has the opposite effect where it'll actually go up instead of going down. Now, if I exercise lighter that day, it'll actually go down. So there's a lot of interesting things that you learn along the way just from that data.
It almost seems counterintuitive, but with an app that tells you what's going on, it's a lot easier to figure that out.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question around marketing really quick? Just specific to.
Of course.
I'm curious, there's obviously a lot of diabetic resources out there, but you have a very unique position in the market. And I'm curious what marketing challenges you've found so far, maybe some ways that you guys have overcome those to be able to really reach who you're trying to and get your message to them.
I think the largest challenge that we've faced so far is just being in a market that is heavily saturated. So it's really on us to be able to truly connect with our community. And that's where we believe that we're going to have the biggest impact, is because this is coming from a founder and a group that is really looking from a personal level to help solve an issue of what you're living with day to day. And so our message is almost, built for us by us in a sense, when it comes down to it.
What do you feel like have been your most effective tactics to date in terms of, has it been word of mouth? Has it been your site? Has it been email marketing? Like, what are the things that you feel like have moved the needle to spread the most awareness for you guys to start to kind of get some connection with your audience?
So far, it has been word of mouth, but we haven't really started our true marketing push. When we start our marketing push, we'll really be working on tweaking and defining that as we go.
Last question from me. As a CEO, I'm curious what your favorite part of the job is and your least favorite part of the job. Then you start with the least favorite and follow when you're in charge of the whole thing and you have to lead people. What's the hardest and the best part of that job for you?
You know what? I would say the hardest is keeping control of everything all at once. In a sense, it's like drinking out of a fire hose some days. But I think that the superpower in that is surrounding yourself with a great team. I love not only the team that I work with, but more importantly, being able to truly work on connecting with the community. I share some of the same struggles as the people that will be our users at the end of the day. Part of our messaging is always going to be that no one's perfect. I mean, I've been living with diabetes for 6 years. I have actually done pretty well with it, overall. But I still go out and grab a cheeseburger every once in a while. So I think that part of that is just really being able to truly create a product that you're impacting. So the development, I guess, would probably be my favorite. I really love the developmental aspect, being able to truly start to listen to our customers and iterate based on what they're truly looking for. So I guess that would be it.
That's awesome.
Matthew, thank you for being on our podcast. Thank you for being our very first guest. I don't know that I mentioned that at the beginning. And I really wish you luck with DiabeticU. It seems like it's going to help a lot of people.
Thank you very much. I did not know that, so I feel honored to be the first guest on the podcast, and looking forward to seeing a lot of amazing episodes from you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Marketing on the Move. If you're looking for more ways to improve your marketing and build a scalable system to help your business grow, check out thebreezycompany.co or any of the resources linked in today's show notes.